Good evening and welcome to a very cold car on my driveway. I went to the cinema early this evening. I have driven home and have had time to reflect upon the film that I saw and digest it. Not that it's high art cinema that I needed to mull over. It was Captain America Brave New World that I went to see this evening. And I really wanted to like it. And I did like it, but I didn't love it. So I've been musing on the whole MCU thing because it almost feels like we can't remember a time before it all existed. I mean, obviously we can. That's a silly thing to say, but it's just been such a huge part of cinema and cinematic culture and popular culture for the last 16 years that it's hard to imagine a time when it wasn't a huge thing. And there's kids growing up who've never lived in a world where, I mean, it used to be that you dreaded superhero films because they were resoundingly terrible, and then everything changed in 2008. And what I find absolutely wild when I reflect on the whole MCU thing is that I was pregnant with my daughter when I went to see Iron Man, and my daughter is 16 now. Like, she is a human reflection of the time that has passed. And I loved the whole business of the MCU and all the films, setting up all the characters. And that's why I was excited for this, because this is our first chance to see Sam Wilson, formerly Falcon, as the new official Captain America. Obviously, we saw in Avengers Endgame, we saw him get the shield. We've had the TV series, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and now Sam is officially Cap. End of. Job done. And that was quite exciting to me because I was like, good, we're sort of starting over. We've got characters we know, but we can introduce new characters and, sort of build a story around Sam. And I absolutely love Anthony Mackie. I think he is wonderful and charismatic and can do the emotional heft, and I was really excited for him. So like I say, I really wanted to love it, and my mind was open, and I just thought, right, brilliant, Marvel, let's go. And it's fine, it's perfectly fine, but there's no, I don't know, it just lacked something for me. If you want an overview of the plot without spoilers, we see Cap settling into his new role. We also see Harrison Ford playing Thunderbolt Ross, General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, who is now President Thaddeus Ross. Obviously, originally Thunderbolt Ross was played by the late great William Hurt, who sadly passed away a few years ago, so he's now been replaced by Harrison Ford, which hopefully isn't too confusing for more casual MCU fans or MCUs or sort of cinema goers. So yes, Harrison Ford has taken over that role, and he's now the president. He's 100 days into his presidency. We see Cap working, with the president and the government, and none of this sits well with Isaiah Bradley, who we met at some point, the original or one of the original recipients of the super soldier serum, the guy who was in prison for 30 years and tested on. And the thing is, I love all this stuff, but I haven't rewatched a huge amount of it. So some of the knowledge is just in there without me actually knowing where it was. I can't remember when we met Isaiah Bradley. Was that in Falcon and Winter Soldier? Might have been. Not sure. I know it's in there. I know who he is. When he appeared, I was like, oh, it's that guy. But I don't remember where I learned that information. So he's in it. He's not happy about Cap having any sort of alliance with Ross. Bradley doesn't trust him. And then the next thing we know, there is an assassination attempt on the president, and Bradley finds himself banged up for it alongside some other people. Another problem is that the villain, although played by an actor I really like, and I won't give anything away, but the villain is a bit like, he's just not that scary. He doesn't feel like, I mean, he is a threat because of what he's able to do, but it just felt quite pedestrian. And I think I miss like the sparky banter between, say, Sam and Bucky, Sam and the Winter Soldier, or between Cap and Sam, back when Captain America was Steve Rogers, you know, that the banter between Chris Evans and Anthony Mackie. Just that spark. And they tried with a new character who was called Joaquin Torres, played by an actor called Daniel Ramirez, who's kind of being introduced as perhaps the new Falcon, you know, to take over where Falcon has left off, because now Falcon is Cap. So they tried with that to introduce like a mentor-mentee kind of dynamic, and somebody for Cap to take under his wing, literally. And I really liked the character, but like I just wasn't that invested. And I felt like the dialogue lacked spark. And I know it's been through lots of rewrites. I know it hasn't been plain sailing. And I'm just frustrated because I will continue to want to love these films. But pretty much when I think back, since Endgame, there's so few that I've really loved. Like, I absolutely loved Shang-Chi. We've never seen hide nor hair of him since. I mean, my love for Spider-Man No Way Home knows no bounds. But besides that, there hasn't been a huge amount of stuff from the Marvel Universe that I've... I mean, I actually really liked Captain Marvel, but I think I'm kind of alone in that. Yeah. What was it called? It wasn't called Captain Marvel, was it? The most recent one. Yeah, I can't remember what it was called. But it's bad that I can't remember, because there was a time when... Yawn. Normally when I do a yawn during one of my videos, I do like an alien face hugger like that, but I just yawned. Yeah, whatever the Captain Marvel film was a couple of years ago, I liked that, even though I don't think it did very well. Like I said, I want to love these things like I did back when it was like the first Avengers film, the first Cap film, the first Thor film, like all of that building of these worlds and these characters. I want to feel that again, and I just don't. And like I say, I'm not approaching them to go like, oh, this is rubbish. Right. To go back to the film I'm actually supposed to be talking about, which is Brave New World. Anthony Mackie's great. The action sequences are fantastic. The effects were good. There's a couple of nice nods and cameos in there without giving anything away. So there's stuff to enjoy. And it passed a couple of hours, and the post-credit sequence, just in case you're wondering, there's only one, and it's right at the end of the credits, so thanks for that, Marvel. I'm intrigued by that, but I just overall just left feeling a bit flat, and I'm gutted because I really wanted to love it. I wanted to just feel that, you know, excitement, that sort of tingly MCU like joy that I used to get from these films, and I just kind of don't anymore. Sigh. So we hang around and we see what happens next, and we see where the whole thing goes. I think the next one we've got is Thunderbolts. Is that what it's called? It's bad that I can't remember any of this. I'm sure it's called the Thunderbolts. Yeah, the Reject Squad. The with all of that lot. Yeah, that's what's next. Don't feel like I'm being particularly coherent. Captain America Brave New World was a solid 7 out of 10. I never rate my films out of 10. I don't know why I've just done that, but I have. 7 buckets of popcorn out of 10. I really liked Anthony Mackie. I like what they're trying to do. Harrison Ford was great because he's Harrison Ford. I just overall felt it was lacking some sparkle, and I hope that they find a way to inject it soon. I think that's me done. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Katie out.